Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with my 1000 Gamerscore report for the Banner Saga 2, the sequel to the Banner Saga 1 and the second game in the trilogy of the Banner Saga series. And in this video, we are going to focus on the achievements, how easy they are to get, are they frustrating, what's the hardest, what's the time investment, and if you want to see a more in-depth review of the game, what it actually looks like for a playthrough, and what's required and how that all works, the battle, the combat, the dialogue choices, all of that, I do have a full hard difficulty playthrough walkthrough available on the channel, so you can check that out. But in this video, we're strictly focusing on the achievements. Is it something that if you care about achievements, what are you getting into in terms of completing this game for the full Gamerscore complement for this game? And let's start out by saying it's a lot. For the base game, there are 42 achievements for the 1000 Gamerscore, and then there is a DLC for this game, the only DLC in the entire trilogy as far as I've been able to find, but it does look like it's free. As far as I can tell, if you have the game, if you got the Banner Saga 2, the DLC now is either free for download or comes with it. The way I got this game, I got the whole trilogy on one disc, and the DLC for the game came on the disc. I didn't have to purchase it separately. And the DLC adds another 12 achievements for 250 Gamerscore. So total, you're looking at 54 achievements for 1,250 Gamerscore to completely finish the game's achievements. And there's a lot involved here, like I said earlier, in terms of total time that you can expect to invest in this game, just the Banner Saga 2, for that full Gamerscore completion. You're looking at least 50 hours, and it could be a whole lot more than that if things don't go your way. It is a monster in terms of commitment to getting this done. For the most part, the achievements are similar to those in the Banner Saga 1, in the prequel to this game, and I do have a 1000 Gamerscore report available for that game, so you can check that out. You should, if you're playing the second one, you should play the first. You can get by without it. There is a recap provided, but you're missing a whole lot. If you're gonna play the Banner Saga 2, my main piece of advice, go play the Banner Saga 1 first, and for no other reason, you'll get the story and all that, but bringing in a fully powered, dedicated team that you have crafted carefully over the Banner Saga 1 will make your Banner Saga 2 playthrough, and eventually Banner Saga 3 playthrough, much, much easier. So, what you do, you're picking up the story from the end of the first game almost immediately after that. And most of the achievements are very straightforward. They're basically play through the game and get kills with certain characters or classes. There's a war bear, for example, that you unlock, which is a summoned character by one of the other characters. So in order to get that character, you have to make certain choices throughout the game. And then there's a specific dialogue choice during your playthrough that you have to make, and then a certain way you have to complete a battle, and that allows you to get the summon bear ability. And then in a battle, you have to get a couple of kills with that bear, or over the course of a few battles, get 3 kills with the bear, and then you get the achievement. That's the hardest one. Most of them are very straightforward. Character X, get 3 kills. Character Y, get 3 kills. Very straightforward, very easy. But some of them have a little bit of a hoop to jump through. On top of that, there are kind of broader ranging full playthrough achievements. Again, very similar to in the Banner Saga 1. One of the playthroughs you have to do very fast. You have to get through the full game in a certain amount of days. And by that, I mean you have to rest very little. You have to make the right dialogue choices. There are certain things that can cause you to take more or less time to get where you're going. And you need to be very, very fast. There's another playthrough that requires you to not let anyone starve. And that kind of works in contradiction to the previous one, because to not let people starve, you need to take your time and hunt and gather. And so those two can work against each other sometimes. And that's why there are multiple playthroughs required for this game. I think you can do it in 2 if you are super efficient and dedicated and have everything mapped out and planned out very carefully. 3, you're probably looking more comfortable, or you could do 4 if you really want to break things up and take your time and just have kind of 1 or 2 dedicated achievements for each run, rather than balancing and juggling to make sure you can hit the 3 or 4 for each run to be more efficient. The most annoying achievement for this game. I'm gonna pick two, and the first one is Intense Repossession. What you need to do is witness Eyeless possess 10 fallen units. So there's a boss in the game that's named Eyeless, and you actually run into them twice during the game, and they have an ability where if any character, it could be a friendly or an enemy character, falls during the battle, you take them out during the battle, Eyeless can possess them, then that brings them back to life at a limited hit points, and they can kind of walk around and attack, and if you take out that unit, Eyeless gets ejected from the body into her regular form, and then a turn or two later, I think she has to cool down for a turn, she can then again jump in to possess a different character. Can't possess the same character twice. Once they've been possessed once, they are no longer eligible for a future possession. And the problem is that the number of bodies are very limited for Eyeless to jump into. You only have these two battles, and there's probably 14 bodies that Eyeless could even jump into. And the really frustrating part is that abilities such as the possess ability require willpower or energy in order to do them. And the AI of the enemy characters, it just burns through their willpower. Like Eyeless can walk 4 steps in a turn, burn 4 willpower, and then do an attack with 3 extra willpower on top of it, and boom, she's burned through half of her willpower in one turn, in one round. And so then after doing a couple of possessions, she can spawn back, and maybe you've gotten 3 possessions in the first battle and 4 possessions in the second battle, and she's now down to 0 willpower. And it's like, well, how do I get her to do the other 3 possessions? Well, there is a way. If you stall the battle long enough, eventually, if you cause her to like skip her turn, or she can't attack anybody, if she's close enough, she's gonna attack. But if you set things up a certain way, she will rest eventually, recover some willpower, and then jump into another body. And it's super finicky and just, it sucks. It's one of those achievements where you have to kind of like play a certain way, and it's efficient, and it's like backwards in order just to make the AI do what you want to do to complete the achievement. So the game's working against you actively for this achievement. And it's a tough battle on top of everything else. It's difficult. So you got to not only fight the difficulty of the battle, but the bugginess of the AI, or this like quirkiness of the AI, because it needs to have this power or willpower to do the abilities. So that is a frustrating achievement. Again, I have that full hard mode playthrough of the game, and I do cover that achievement in that playthrough. So you can see exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to that. On top of that, there's another one called Master Tactician, and this mirrors an achievement from the Banner Saga 1, where you need to win a training battle, which isn't very difficult, on hard difficulty, not very difficult, but with a full team, so 6 characters, all at rank 10. That is the maximum rank for the Banner Saga 2. You can get characters up to rank 10. You need to have all 6 of your characters up to rank 10 in a training battle in order to get this achievement. And that is very difficult. And the main reason is there's not enough enemies in the game to get you enough renown, which is kind of the XP of the game, in order to upgrade all of those characters. Even if you max out your playthrough in the Banner Saga 1 and get to the Banner Saga 2, and then you max out every single kill you can, you milk every single battle, you do every battle, you kill every enemy, you're still going to fall short, about 10 to 20 renown short of getting that last character up to rank 10. The only way, as far as I know, and I've tried really hard to find an alternative, the only way to get this achievement is to jump through a specific, it's not a glitch, it's not a bug, it is the intended way, but it's this really specific situation. There's one battle in the game that has infinite respawns. There's a boss character, and as long as you keep the boss character alive, he will constantly spawn in reinforcements to the battle, and you can farm those reinforcements while keeping the main boss alive, and you can get an infinite amount of renown. And if you can get, I don't know, it's like 120 or so renown in that battle, then you'll have enough to comfortably complete this achievement. So again, these weird hoops that you have to jump through, you can't even just play and play well and play efficiently. You also have to like abuse and set up this really weird situation. It's really tough to get it set up in that battle to get the infinite achievement going. So all of that needs to come together in order to get this achievement. And again, it is very annoying and very finicky, and just, it's brutal to try and get done. All that aside, that does not hold a candle to the hardest, most difficult achievement in this game, and it almost broke me. It is Krumer's Mentor, and this is in the DLC part of the game. It's called Survival Mode. It's completely different from the story mode. It's just battles. The battles work a little bit differently. They've got some weird mechanics. Again, not worth going into in this separate achievement, 1000 Gamerscore report, but I do have playthroughs for this achievement and the other ones of the survival mode available that you can check out. Basically, you need to play through the hardest difficulty of survival mode, and you need to complete it, winning all of the battles without ever reloading a single battle. And that means you didn't have the power go out. That means you didn't have to get up and go to the restroom. That means you didn't like make a mistake and lose your important character on battle 40 or on battle 39. Because if you do any of that and you have to reload or save, like reload a checkpoint because the battle went poorly, you lose this achievement. So it's a 10-hour investment that could go wrong at 9 hours and 59 minutes. You could get into the final battle, be halfway through it, and lose, and you got to start all over again and start the clock from 0 to build up that 10 hours again. It's brutal, but it is doable even when things don't go perfectly well, as you can see in the achievement guide I have specifically for that achievement. So all in all, this game, the first game was pretty easy, pretty clear cut, pretty straightforward. I really enjoyed it, and the achievements were not a big hurdle. This one almost broke me. I hunt these achievements. I like completing games. This one I did not enjoy. It was a slog by the end of it to get through it. The game is still good. The story is still good. I like the mechanics, but the achievements were terrible. This was so hard and so weird on the way that you had to complete some of these. So buyer beware. If you're going for this trilogy, this is by far the biggest hurdle. It is really, really difficult. It requires a ton of time and a ton of patience and a ton of commitment. And things went wrong, and now I got to just go back and do it again. Suck it up and go and do it again, because that's what you're in for in this one. I'm giving this a 3 out of 10 in terms of the achievements, and that is all just because of the difficulty and the clunkiness. I don't mind hard games. Dark Souls is hard, but if you die, you lose some souls. It's 30 seconds to get back into the boss battle and go again. In this one, it can be 9.5 hours of investment, and you make a mistake or you run out of time or the doorbell rings or whatever, you can't pause the game, and you've lost that entire 9.5 hour investment, and you got to start over. Brutal. But if you can accomplish it, it's one of those really good feelings where you feel like, man, that was a big mountain to climb, and I got to the top of it. So that is what you're in for in this video, in this game. Hopefully this video will help you out. Hopefully if you're going for it, you can check out my other videos for the Banner Saga 2, some of the achievement guides, some of the walkthroughs. Hopefully this helps you out. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.